you're allowed to not like certain styles.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm constantly telling customers that, like, try this. You're allowed to not like it.
Right.
That's fine. But that's the great thing about craft beers. There's something for everybody, but you don't necessarily have to like it.
All right, guys, welcome to the episode of the Hoppy Craftsmen. I am Chris.
I'm Jeff.
And this week we are way far away from home. We are in Santa Barbara. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, pretty much. We're in Goleta, California, but just north of Santa Barbara.
Excellent. Excellent. We are missing our third man. Nate is home in Arizona. We missed all the good times this week. So sorry, Nate. It's bad.
Come on, Nate.
What are you going to do? Joining us on the show, though, is
Jay Mead, head brewer at 12 West.
Matt Minkus, creative director, Captain Fatty's.
Preston Angel, owner of Captain Fatty's.
Noel Garcia, co-founder of 12 West Brewing Company.
Alexander Phillips, Director of Sales and Marketing, Grand Canyon Brewing Company.
wait, do you actually go by Alexander? Should I call you that now?
If you like.
All right. I'll do that.
That's a lot more prestigious.
It's a professional show.
It's my fancy name.
It's
I mean,
They call me Alexander.
Whatever you say.
yeah, right. So why are we all sitting here at this table in California right now? Well, how'd this all happen? I guess Noel, maybe you can speak to that. Why we're here?
I'm just here for the beer. Because the weather's shitty in Phoenix.
That's true.
That's also true. No, we're doing a collaboration with Captain Fatty's. Long time coming, I guess. It's been we've been in the kind of talks with this for over about a year, maybe
Something like that.
something like that. So.
Did you guys meet in an event? Are you guys just talking online? How does a brewery in Phoenix and a brewery in California?
So Bo comes into the tap room quite a bit.
Yeah.
To our tap room in Agritopia, and we've been talking about doing a collaboration. And it's just been one of those things where you get caught up in what you're doing. And then a year goes by.
Yeah.
When hundreds of miles separate you, the stars have to align
Exactly.
a little bit. But we decided that we needed to do a barrel-aged sour saison and a hazy.
And
Kind of cover. Let's cover the entire spectrum.
Exactly.
Why not? Very cool. And so what did we actually brew today, right? What was the beer that we actually made, or you guys made? We didn't really do much. We just sat around drinking beer.
You guys did a great job.
Yeah. I held the clipboard at one point, pointed. That's what I do.
Yeah, so we have a saison designed. Basically, we're shooting for something around the 7 to maybe we'll hit 8% ABV or so on this, depending on how much the Brett gets in there and does its job. But we're gonna throw this guy in stainless for really just a couple of days. Let it ferment out with some Bell Saison, and we'll just let that run until it's about 50% attenuated, and then we're going to get it in some red wine barrels and throw that on top of some Brett from Omega Labs and their lacto strain as well. Get it in there for as long as it needs until it gets plenty funky and plenty dried out, and then we'll get it in bottles and get it to you guys. For sure.
It'll be dope.
Yeah.
Nice. So we'll actually be able to get some in Arizona as well.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We'll get a trip.
We'll find a way.
Yeah.
Well, we waited a year to get the collab finally going, and now we make a beer that takes another year. We maybe put it in bottles, and then there's a little added on top of that. But that's why we wanted to get in another brew while you guys were out here. So
I remember this.
Yeah, get something
beer.
fresh and get something barrel aged.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Nice.
I like to build anticipation.
It's working. I'm very
And we're
anticipated.
starting to hype now.
The hype now.
Want it already.
Get ready for a year. So
Gotta get the hype trains chugging along, and slowly
it's very, very slow.
hit the brakes on it real fast. Makes sense. Makes total sense. So we probably should get into Captain Fatty's a little bit and actually talk to you guys about how you guys started this. Let's just do that.
Sure. Yeah, the entire story. So Captain Fatty's, we really started, as most breweries do nowadays, just glorified home brewers. Started on a 1-barrel system here in this Yeah, that guy up there. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just doing it for fun. Not really in it to make money or anything like that, but really enjoyed it and actually had more of a following than we thought we'd have. I personally, wanted to go to med school way back in the day, and decided that brewing beer was a lot more fun.
We don't
And
need doctors and
yeah, exactly.
that's not
no,
beer.
a different form of medicine.
Yeah,
Right.
yes.
And
Medicine for the soul.
yeah. And so we slowly kind of graduated to our 1-barrel system, 1.5 barrel system. Now we have our 15-barrel brew house from Deutsche Beverage Systems in North Carolina, and 4 30s, and we're getting some more in next month. So we'll just keep this train rolling a little bit. Yeah.
I guess the big question too is why Captain Fatties?
Yeah.
It's a really,
Yeah, where'd that come from?
yeah. It's,
So I was home brewing with a couple of my really good buddies, and they were co-founders at the time, and their nicknames growing up were Captain and Fatty, respectively. And we were home brewing under that name, and decided to adopt it for the actual commercial use, and just it stuck.
very cool.
And it should be noted that captain is not a captain of a boat. And Fatty is
He's actually he's a nice trim
reasonably
gentleman.
handsome
Yeah.
dude. Yeah,
So they're ironic
snack.
nicknames. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying. All right.
chronic snacker.
Snacker. That's true. You do have to watch your snacks around Fatty.
See,
Yeah.
most things like people from Arizona, I think, is what we told earlier, right? We're grazers.
Yeah. Floating around food all day.
So do you guys have any?
That's
Is that a good
that's the
alarm?
whirlpool.
Yeah, we're
Whirlpool's ready.
We're also brewing and podcasting.
Yeah,
Perfect.
brewing and podcasting.
Basically, starting your brewery, was there actually some challenges you guys had to face to actually get it open?
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything different, especially because we started out so small. The standard growing pains, getting approved by ABC, the city, all that. But once we got through that and it really started to expand from there, then it's just kind of implementing those basics and getting them dialed into your expanded system. So from a logistical standpoint, not a huge pain in the ass to actually get open and up and running.
Okay.
And that's actually one of the benefits to opening up small. Very little overhead, and startup costs when we did that. And then obviously those all came when you start getting, $200,000 systems and that type of thing. But yeah, the initial startup, once you get through all that paperwork, pretty straightforward.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't have too many horror stories, luckily.
You're
Knock on wood,
right.
where's some wood?
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's definitely people we talked to who had some pretty crazy struggles to open up.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see people that actually didn't.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
Right.
obviously it's tough, and starting any business is a challenge in and of itself. But I think that we were pretty lucky, especially with the amount that we initially had invested. It was just a pretty easy process. Maybe some of that had to do with some. I was naive to a lot of it. Kid that loved brewing and wanted to get into it and willing to do whatever it took. And yeah, we did it. It was fun. It was fun.
So how long have you guys been open so far?
We just hit 3 years. 3
Okay.
years back in November. So
Wow.
yeah. But I think it's been 2 years with this bigger system. Yeah. So still coming into our own a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything in those last 3 years that's kind of stood out to you as being like one of your proudest moments, maybe?
Medaling at GABF definitely has to be up there.
Right.
We medaled in the Berliner Weisse category, got gold there. Huge surprise, kind of lightning struck.
Did you guys just enter it just to enter it? You actually weren't even thinking you're gonna maybe?
No, I mean we knew we entered 4 solid beers.
Okay.
And we knew that they all had a chance. But it's a crapshoot, right? No matter how good your beer is. We entered IPA category, which is obviously very tough to get, just to even get through the later stages. Berliner Weiss, we did barrel aged stout, and what was our 4th one?
German Pils.
German Pils. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a tough one too.
Yeah, and that one's tough.
Yeah.
A lot of tough ones in there. But we were happy to at least get one medal out of there.
That's awesome.
But certainly a high point. And then I think just being in the industry is just in and of itself is great. Just to be able to have this kind of community and brewing with other breweries. It's been really it's a treat. It's a unique part of the brewing industry and something that we should all kind of celebrate a little bit, which we are doing.
Yeah,
With all these beers we're doing.
yeah, it's hard not to. I guess we should probably maybe talk about what we're drinking too.
Sure.
I mean, you guys want to? What do you guys got down there?
I have Cheese May, which is our we just released this Mexican lager that our brewer Colin, who is actually in the back right now, came up with the recipe, brewed it. So I'm not going to take any credit for this thing, but it's delicious.
It's a really good lager, and it's actually very clear too, which is super
cleared
impressive.
it way out, and the beauty of biofine and a nice fine filter. We'll do that.
Alex has been killing them all day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Taking them
this,
down.
this is just impressed me.
You mean Alexander?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everybody listening. Alexander wasn't killing them all day.
It is Alexander. But no, this lager is incredible. It is,
No, thank you.
is a fine beer.
Well, again, I can't take credit for it. It's all Colin in the back.
Shout out to Colin.
My man.
Shout out to Paul.
My man.
And I'm drinking this K-Lax New England style IPA, which I quite enjoy, but
Is it good?
Maybe
obviously
that's
can't
okay.
take credit for that because that's 12 West.
You guys are welcome to take credit.
Very delicious though. The IBUs on this thing is money, and the haze is on point. Obviously, you throw enough hops in something, it's going to taste good. But it's I think solid.
It's definitely a beer that I mean, I know we enjoy a lot. We like drinking it. So thank you, Jay, for doing that. That's your brainchild, right? Is what you're saying?
No, I didn't do it. That was
Yes. No.
I just
You're
make
on a
it.
podcast.
I mean, yes, yeah. I actually did
Nobody
that.
wants to take credit.
I'm definitely responsible for that 100% of
Yeah.
the time, all the time.
But you brew it all the time, so I guess.
Yeah, unless it's bad, in which case Noel brewed it.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Fair enough.
Clearly.
And
Very cool.
because it's a brewery, right? We never make mistakes.
Never ever.
Right. No,
No.
everything is on purpose.
Everything. Yeah.
It's never, there's
goes
never a
according to plan.
mistake. It's always beautiful art and whatever. It's always on time. Yeah, we always deliver. Yes, exactly. I am drinking Dextera, which is a very big stout, and it is delicious. You're getting very drunk on stout in California.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really what we came here for.
Also cannot take credit for this beer because it's Captain Fatty's.
So no one's drinking their own beer, which is a good sign.
I'm also not drinking my own beer. I didn't make any of these beers, so I guess.
Weird. Did you bring any of your own beer?
I didn't. Jeff didn't bring any of his own beer. He brews. I just help.
Come on.
You help drink it.
Yes, I basically sit around and give him pointers and drink more beer. It works out great.
We all need that.
Yeah.
You saw how much room we have in the car.
Yeah. Get a degree in that. It'd be nice.
My beer's got no place in the car with all the stuff you guys brought.
Right.
That's not true. It'd get a complex. That's fine. I'll hold it. I'm comfortable.
And I'm drinking the Calypso Sour, which is really good as well.
It's really amazing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Calypso's pretty dope.
Yeah, and there's the cucumber in here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cucumber in there.
Holy crap. It's so good.
I was just saying when I got here, I'd never met a cucumber I'd ever liked in my life.
Yeah.
And that, I guess, changed today. That is super delightful.
Oh, thank you.
No, Alexander can never say that again. I'll hold you to it.
It's fair, and that is impressive enough to make me remember. So
I'm with you. I think this is a great beer. It's
it's very delicious.
not a huge fan of cucumber beers either, so
See,
this is
we're
really
making
good.
history. As you know, telling your grandkids. I was there when Alexander realized
I was
there was a
for that
cucumber
moment.
beer that he liked.
Yeah,
Fell in
I
love with
came
his
out
first
here
cucumber.
and expected to drink a bunch of like big stouts and IPAs. And I'm like, yeah, I'm about your Mexican lager and
Yeah.
Brewery. So it's not entirely how I had it planned in my head.
Welcome to the Central Coast.
Yes.
Where it's summer every day. You're getting your light stuff.
Go get some more Blender Weiss here.
So, guys, what did you guys learn from opening the brewery or in your process so far that if somebody wanted to open a brewery, you could kind of like tell them not to do or do something differently?
Man.
I know, right? It's probably a little.
Just don't.
We have like 8 hours on this.
Do something else
perfect.
with your life.
We got plenty of memory on
Yeah,
that.
there's a lot of memory space.
For me, I think. Well, I'll change the question a little bit.
Sure.
I want to talk about what we really like to do around here, and it's kind of brew beer that we really enjoy drinking. Something that at Captain Fatty's, when we first started this up, it was kind of about what, I don't want to say not necessarily what the customer wants, because we love pleasing our customers, but we like to, you got to have fun with what you're doing. And when you stop having fun brewing beer, man, it can be taxing a little bit. So I'd say if somebody's starting up a brewery, and you're already like not having fun brewing the same damn thing all the time, that's a red flag. So one thing that we try to do, and partially while we're getting some smaller 15 barrel fermenters in here, is just to create stuff and go crazy and brew some stuff that's a little bit off the scale and off the beaten path. Just have fun with it that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think earlier you guys were telling us you have plans for expansion, right?
Yeah, a little bit. So we're currently in our tap room, but we're actually for the listeners, it's kind of a warehouse style, like roll up door in here, and we got another bay right across the way here, and so that's going to turn into our tap room and kind of barrel storage over there.
Okay.
And then where we're currently sitting, we're going to expand this, and there's going to be a lot more stainless just fermenters. We're not expanding our brew house or anything like that.
Okay.
But yeah, getting some more fermenters in here, some 30s and 15s.
Very nice.
Yeah,
A lot more beer.
a lot more beer. yeah, which is fun and exciting to think about.
Does location pose any challenges for the like retail side of things, like the traffic that comes here?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a concern to you, neighbors? Yeah, I mean, the ongoing theme, even in Arizona, and we've said a lot on the show, is we think there's some kind of regulation that they don't. The liquor board doesn't even give you a license to open a brewery unless your parking absolutely sucks.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's
like
or
the
you're,
first
you're off the
requirement.
beaten path or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, we have a unique situation here where we're in an industrial park. CHP, which is California Highway Patrol. They are right next door to
Literally
us
right
over here.
next
Yeah.
door.
Yeah, we can peek out our door and they're right over there. So yeah, it's definitely a concern when you're opening up and you know that you're not going to get that innate foot traffic. So that was part of the experiment, and partially why we decided to open up on such a small scale at the beginning. We found out, and as we've seen with a lot of breweries, if you brew good beer, people will find you, and that's just a testament to the consumer and this community. They will seek out good beer, and it's just awesome. You can't say enough about the beer community and how they'll come find you, even with CHP right there.
They'll find ways around it.
Yeah, exactly. So part of what we're doing with this expansion is we are going to get a tap room open in downtown Santa Barbara here at some point, or depending on how long that plan process takes. But yeah, but opening up right here has posed its challenges, but luckily the beer aficionado, they've really come through for us and given us a decent amount of traffic.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's been great. And not expected either. We weren't expecting to be busy in this tap room.
Do you guys want to do a quick rapid round then? Well, sorry, we call it the rapid round. It's not very rapid, ever.
Not so rapid. It's a rapid round.
Somewhat rapid.
It's some, yeah, we got to figure out a different name for it, but
It's around.
it's a round.
It gets the point across.
Yeah.
Varying times.
It could be as
Various
time round.
Various times round.
It's always as rapid as you guys make it, I guess, is probably the,
Perfect.
yeah, so.
We'll talk
I like
fast.
that title better.
Yeah.
It's working tight. It's working. Look, they can't all be gold. Okay, Noel? Sorry.
As rapid as the guests make it round, just doesn't have that
Just roll the tongue.
pop.
Doesn't roll off the tongue as well. So.
It doesn't fit on a shirt very well either, so I don't, what are you gonna do? All right, so, Jay, we'll start with you. Let's go around. What was the beer that got you into craft beer?
Sierra Nevada Celebration.
All right.
Yep.
Nice.
And in fact, getting a chance to have it at the Sierra Nevada Mills River facility in North Carolina was a pretty unique and interesting moment when I brewed there years ago. So that was pretty cool. But that would be my vote. That was the beer that made me was like, yeah, I want to do this.
I would have to say Tart of Darkness from the brewery.
My man.
man.
Wow.
That is
my friend,
hell of a gateway beer.
Our
Right,
friend-
all right.
My best friend Jesse, growing up, was a little on the game a little bit. He was ahead of me on it, and gave me that beer, and I said, "This is weird, but I like it." And
I want to be a part of this.
yeah, I want to be part of this.
Yeah,
We can
something's
try
wrong
and
with your
make-
beer, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I love sour stouts, and everything's a weirdo for liking sour stouts, but I love that beer. It's a
Sour
great
stouts are
beer.
brilliant. They're
Yeah.
really hard.
Yeah.
That's why tarts, everyone loves it so much because it's like a good version of the style. It's
Right.
hard to make those type of beers.
Yeah.
They're challenging.
They are. They're fun though. So I remember the event of me having my first IPA when I was however old, 21. And,
of course.
Yeah. And remember loving it. I don't know what the beer was. But then the beer that I kind of fell in love with and really got me back into kind of that craft beer, just the love of it, was Knee Deep Simtra. Just solid IPA, and it's just like, it was just great. I loved it, and like, oh yes, IPAs, awesome.
It's good.
Yeah.
Noel, you're gonna.
I mean, mine back many moons ago. It was Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. That beer to me just kind of spoke really well. I've never had anything like that at that point, but just literally, it was like being able to taste hops was incredible for me. And so after doing that, like that just sparked my interest in brewing, and then it became in a weird obsession. Yeah. So that was it.
Yeah, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale is definitely one of those beers where if I go to a place I know doesn't have craft beer, quote unquote, they'll always
quotes.
have air quotes.
Yeah,
air quotes. They'll have Sierra Nevada usually. And that's usually my kind of go-to, like where we're going to place that.
I mean, still to this day, if I can find it fresh, man, it is such a good beer.
It's a brilliant thing.
Yeah.
It's a touchstone for our industry.
Alexander?
Oscar Blues Old Chub.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. When I first moved to the Valley, I just was super into beer at the time. Like, I just tried to get away from Bud Light. And there's a really like cowboy party culture where I'm from, a lot of Natty Ice and stuff like that. I just didn't like it. I discovered Bevmo was like a crazy place to me coming off the mountain. And I would just pick a couple beers and mix six, and didn't really like a lot of it. But that wasn't really ever the point. And then just cracked open an Oscar Blues Old Chub one day, and you know, my journey kind of started in dark beer. And that beer just blew my mind. It was sweet and malty and just incredibly complex, and just heavy ethanol just hit her too. And it was just crazy that it could taste so good without being just gross. And so, I mean, that, you know, developed years worth of beer drinking, but that beer for sure. 100%.
Man, that's interesting that you say that, because that was one of the first craft beers that I ever had, and I thought it was hateful.
See,
I grew up in Longmont, like they were a hometown hero, and
that
I was
had
just
to do
like,
with
God,
Carriage
that was
Fest.
foul.
You can fucking swear. It's fine. This is
Sorry, it's fucking gross.
There you go.
And that's just so awesome that Alex had the totally different experience. That's just interesting to me.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, it really is, because you're allowed to not like certain styles.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I am constantly telling customers that, like, try this. You're allowed to not like it. You know,
Right.
That's fine. But that's the great thing about craft beers. There's something for everybody, but you don't necessarily have to like everything too.
Said I'm not a huge Saison fan, but I keep trying them because I know one day there'll be a Saison that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like. So I don't want to ever just give up on the style just because I don't gravitate toward it. So, but I'll keep trying them.
That's also a good point. I mean, like, there's also beers that I drink now that I didn't drink, you know, years ago, and my like what I crave to drink is always changing. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
It's just like today, we're all IPA drinkers, but we've been drinking lagers like every day.
Right.
So, you know,
And yesterday it was like big, hairy-chested stouts that would grow testicles like on your eyeballs. It was so manly.
But
You know?
it's
They
just,
were pretty ridiculous.
it's literally like, that's what I love about craft beer, because you can literally pick your flavor of the week and then just
Right.
change it, which is awesome.
You
And
can
it's
have everything-
great to see that, like, you know, innovation with, you know, new breweries like popping up, like just trying new things, like literally stepping out of the box. And it bothers me when people say like you can't do that.
Yeah.
Because that's what this whole like industry is based off of.
You're looking at it. You did it.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
You're drinking it.
Those words are tattooed
Yeah.
on the soul of every brewer.
Yeah.
You can't I?
Right?
Yeah.
We'll see.
So I guess the next question is, what is your moped beer or your guilty pleasure beer?
Oh god. Like the beer that I like don't want to talk about that I like.
Yeah. Basically, if your friends saw, it's like a moped.
You like to drink it, but you don't want your friends to see
That's
it.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's a good question there.
I got mine if you want to go.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably going to be loaded Corona. Corona with a shot of tequila in it.
all right.
That's probably my like garbage beer. It's like, yeah, I'm going to drink that, and you're going to judge me, but I will be drunk and not care.
That's your boy.
I know, right? my brewer knows how to partamp.
Well, I don't know. Three Weavers did a Radler. It's really good.
Radlers are good, man.
Someone just put it. I asked the
Right under the
bartender,
bus.
"Come on, surprise me." It was a bottle shop, tap room, and he just put it in front of me. He's like, "Guess what it is?" And I tried it, and I was thrown off because I was expecting beer,
And got that instead.
And got that, and I was like, "No, it's all right." Secretly, been asking the brew team. I think this is going to be the new hazy trend.
Yeah, you
We
should
need to do
definitely.
Radlers. They're coming out in 16-ounce cans.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. Guilty pleasure. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, so I'm required to say Budweiser.
In there.
Yeah, and I genuinely like it. I think it's a solid beer, but heavy, not Bud Light. And if I'm on the golf course or something, or on the beach, even though we have a beer named Beach Beer, I like myself some Bud Heavy.
For me, it's gonna be Pabst. When it's cold, man, it's good. And then if I can get it, Rainier. So that's just two of the ones that I can drink quite a bit of.
Did you see that Pabst released American Pale Ale?
I did not.
I saw it the other day. I was
Today?
No, I don't know. No, it wasn't today. It was like last week I saw it, and I was like, I need to try some of that now. This,
I mean, I'll try it.
yeah, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
See how it is, but
Cave Creek chili beer.
Oh man.
they still make
Does
that.
that even still exist?
Sorry, guys.
How is that?
Dang.
It's the truth. There is nothing more satisfying than just like grilling. I mean, it's not what I'm going to drink with dinner for sure, but just grilling out in the heat, just drinking a few of those spicy ass,
face.
basically just Tecate with the chili. Yeah, man, I'm not proud of it, but I love it.
But I love it.
And I mean, it's equal parts drinking and barbecue ingredients.
Yes,
Right.
I mean,
That's
very true.
You can season your.
it's 100% about experience and probably 40% about taste.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things like drinking a spicy beer while like cooking food that you know is going to be spicy. Because if you're not spicing barbecue,
What's wrong with you?
what the fuck are you doing? But it's one of those things I really like to do. I mean, it's been forever since I have just so much good beer in front of me all the time. But if it just kind of aligns, I'll also do it.
Deathbed beer. What beer would you have on your deathbed or death row? Like for some reason you're in prison for some odd reason. You would say that. And if you want to take it up a notch, spoon pairing with it.
Look around this
I
table.
mean,
it's
with this group, it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting good beer.
It's plausible. Come on.
It could be any beer at any time that they don't make anymore, like chili beer from Cave Creek. Anything like that at all. Anything you can still get.
Oh,
Except for-
man.
Except for that one.
That's really tough.
Cantillon St. Lambinus.
Not
I've had it a couple times in my life, and every single time has been a pretty special experience. I would be troubled to find a beer that I think is more perfect. No, I don't know what
You
would
said that
happen.
with like love in your eyes.
I know. I mean, yeah.
That's what I love about the rapid round. You get some
You're
really
drinking down
genuine
Right.
answers. It's great.
Ooh, I'd have to say, I think it was called Tallest Trees, and it was a peach saison from Monkish Brewing Company, and it was like in a mix of a long list of bottles and cans where I was at a beer share, and everyone said it was the best that I was brought, and I was blown away by it. So easy to drink, right amount of fruit character, and just great acidity.
Dang, I'm throwing for a loop on this question.
We come back. We make put Noel on the spot.
Well, I'm gonna get more general on it. I think like it's either gonna be like a super fresh hazy IPA right now. Speaking of like we're talking about like
Right.
this is the flavor of the week type of thing. But like a fresh hazy right now is so money. And then gosh,
Totally
I
agree with that.
really like. I'm trying to think of like my favorite barrel aged sour that I would love to have on my deathbed. Come back to me on that.
All right.
Yeah.
So for me,
Do you say PBR again? I swear to God.
Old should be. That'd be an awesome answer.
psych, tecate. No, I'm just kidding. For me, it's Mo Betta Bretta. It was a collaboration that Lost Abbey in New Belgium did a long time ago, and it was fantastic. I think that was like, it might be nostalgia because you haven't been able to get it since they did it, but when I had it, it was amazing, and I still there's sometimes that like when we're making like sour beers, that's kind of what I envision, and that to me is awesome. And to pair that with literally like if it was like my last meal situation,
Right.
it would be like my the way my grandma makes eggs and beans, like that was like the Mexican meal. And that for me is like super comfort. So
Yeah, it's awesome.
So for me, it would be my, I guess, introduction to kind of juicy, non-really hop-driven beers. So I was out in Philly at Second Story. They did a collaboration with Tired Hands called Apollo Creed. And
Great name.
I love going to a brewery and just drinking pints of their entire beer list and just, seeing how far I can do that. And it's always what I have in mind. And I started with that one because the name's clever, it's fun. And I drank 8 of those and then left. I didn't have another single beer the whole time I was there. I probably shouldn't have had 8, but I just couldn't. I mean, I've had beers where I like have these incredible like experiences with that would probably normally have taken that place, but I just could not order the beer. Like it was just insane, and I knew I wasn't ever gonna be able to have it again. I just kept drinking it, and I was able to have one more the next day at a different bar. It was just incredible beer. And probably I'm going out one more of those.
I'm still trying to think, but I don't know if I'd have this on my deathbed, but it deserves another shout out, Tart of Darkness, because it has a special place in my heart. We brewed a sour stout inspired by that for my wife when she got pregnant with my kid, and it's just like named it Mama Risa. My wife's name is Risa, and it's so that at least deserves a mention.
There you go. Yeah.
So you drink a better version of the beer.
Yeah. So I have Mama Risa.
Oh, you definitely. Yeah.
No, Mama Risa definitely is
Drink
better.
it, it's
part
better.
Yeah.
Awesome. So one thing that should never be in a beer.
We've had this conversation a lot recently.
that's actually been
You
a huge topic. Shoes. Probably.
Shoes. That's a good one.
Shoes.
Yeah.
Get out of
Shoelaces.
here, Hobo Joe.
Stop washing your clothes in your hand.
Say under attenuated fruit. Looking at you, everyone who's making a juice beer right now, stop it.
That's right. I don't have
It's
it.
like,
Sorry.
if it's not attenuated, it's not really beer, is it?
No.
Hold on. Say that again real quick, and then you do that.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let's
Take 2.
go ahead.
Say, well, if it's in your beer and it's not attenuated, it's not really beer then, is it?
And there we go. Gotta love editing.
And probably glitter, because fuck that trend. Thank you.
True story.
You can email me at noel@collabsbrewing.com.
You can add.
Drupal@housebrewing.com.
I mean, are we
Make sure to ask for some coasters. We'll throw some.
are we saying like
Just
you want to
something
put
you've
shoes
seen in a beer.
Oh, something
right?
I've seen. in beer?
Or something that's not even seen.
Well, I mean, I
That's
could say
something I haven't thought of yet.
toenails, but I mean,
That's what I'm saying. Well, there's
like
like.
personally, like I'm not a fan of like watermelon in a beer.
All right.
Or watermelon in a beer.
No, it's perfect.
What does fermented watermelon taste like anyway?
Actually, just a really shitty slushy.
Gross. It's like when a slushy melts. You
Yeah,
drink-
it's just like
Sounds
well, it's
good.
a
Yeah,
slushy,
pocket
but very unsatisfying.
Good.
Yeah.
Unless you can get the Sour Patch watermelon.
is, and if, you got to be able to get that flavor without it tasting like extract chemicals.
Yes.
Well,
which is
yeah,
so
that's the
hard.
idea. You just put a bunch of those Sour Patch Kids in your beer and then ferment that.
Yeah, why not?
I mean,
So we
Well,
doing
it
this?
tastes like
Next beer I did.
All right, collaboration.
after the Kool-Aid, so it's going to be sour candies.
Right? Sour
Was it
candy.
Brass Tap? They did a one of their Randall days. They did a Berliner with lemongrass and Sour Patch Kids,
Mhm.
and it
Yeah.
was freaking phenomenal.
Oh, yeah,
believe
that was a cool time.
It was so good.
I believe it.
Preston.
I would say something I frown upon is like people taking like a blonde ale and then like dosing it with lactic acid to make it into a Berliner. Something like that.
Oh.
So like that kind of hurts me a little bit.
All right.
People
So I
actually
was-
do that
Yeah,
still?
that was a thing.
Yes, I had one this weekend.
That hurts my soul so
Oh, literally
bad.
just made me cringe like real
Did
hard.
someone have a Tums?
Yeah, it's just I mean.
I can't
Like,
tell you
I
how much
kind of get
don't
it.
want that.
It's like, but it's just one dimensional, obviously, and it's like,
Yeah.
and it's a sweet tart.
And let me guess, they charge like 3 times more
Yeah.
for it.
Exactly.
Traditionally.
They tried. It was discounted for some reason. I know.
Crazy. Well,
Again, I don't think that there should be a limit on what you can put in beer,
right.
but I hate anise. I mean, I can't do it. Star anise, anise, whatever you want to call it. It's star anise.
Yeah, passing right.
I absolutely hate that flavor. So,
Agreed.
I'm not a big fan.
So this triple that we're planning,
Well, it's not gonna.
that may or may not have had some of that in it.
I mean,
Doesn't anymore.
It totally doesn't now. Now it's a totally yeast
totally-
phenol, not from
totally
star anise at all.
unanised.
Well, unused.
We unanised it.
Unanised.
Underneath. Underneath is a good real word. Yeah. Alexander.
I'll tell you, we talk a lot about ingredients that we're already using in beer, and I honestly don't think that I've tasted something that like. I'm not going to tell someone else what they enjoy, but I will straight fight anyone who wants to try to make eggs in a wort. I will fuck you up. People are getting weird with beer, but eggs has to be where we draw the line. Like people like on farms, and I keep thinking like it's just one more day until some dipshit is like deviled egg beer, and I'm just going to have to like fly out and
Actually
just
fight
rock them. Like,
Now, are you talking about like
That idea sounds
adding that
hateful.
well,
part in it, or just like maybe boiling some eggs in some wort just as a snack? You know.
I'm just trying to extract a nice sulfur kick. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's no.
That's
Could you imagine? I mean,
I just see
I would-
people like throw bread crust in the mash and like or pies. And
we were talking about tortillas earlier for a kvass, like
and I'm
Southern
still
California
fine
kvass.
with it. But the moment it's eggs, I'm
That's
not
it.
fighting with it.
I would finance a documentary of just you like getting
the
in the
ass
car
beating?
and going to the airport
Like
and
doing
flying
the
there.
research.
And then, like, getting an Uber and going to this brewery, and you just walk up to the guy and, like, slap it out of his hand and go, no. And then you turn around and just go back.
That sounds like a Family Guy.
I would definitely record that.
I mean, I'm in for it, obviously.
Yeah, let's make this happen. So, any brewers out there who hear this, put eggs in your beer so we can come and hit you.
Yes. If you want to get hit by Alexander, please email Noel at
Email.
Oh man. So the last one we'll go through is what's your favorite place to have a beer? Like, where is your favorite place to have a beer?
Your mom's house.
He does have a great cellar, though.
Yeah, I can't believe it took this long for that answer to come out.
Oh man.
I mean, she makes pancakes and shit in the morning. It's fucking cool.
Hey, like, that question's getting deleted off this fucking.
Well, we finally got what we're looking for.
I'm sorry.
Serious answer.
I'm not the horrible cook. I know what you're talking about.
She's a saint.
Yeah,
My mom is a saint and a terrible waffle chef.
but she cannot make food. Love you, Mom.
I, like, honestly, anywhere my friends are, man. Like, that's what beer's about. It's about having your drink with your homies, whomever they may be, it would seem. So wherever my friends are, that's the best place in the world.
Rad.
Amen.
I'll drink to that.
That's what's up.
I'm drinking today.
Well, I mean, I'd hope my favorite place, my friends would be there too, but it'd have to be in some sort of water, whether a lake or pool or the beach, ocean. Just drinking a beer, let a little water splashing, but you don't even care. You're just having a good time in the sun.
Everything is a go-go.
Everything's at the beach, yeah.
Just pounding radlers in his pool.
Rattlers in the pool.
You just forecasted my summer. Can't wait to go out to Arizona. My
There we go.
My sister in Arizona's got a pool. You know.
Yeah, there you go. In Arizona. Sick.
Maybe pull us up a radler by then.
I wanted to make soda. Already.
I didn't say this, but I'm the assistant to the assistant root beer maker.
That's true. That's very point.
So it's a title I've earned.
Yep.
Yeah. We have a non-alcoholic root beer.
I need that business card later.
You need that? Yeah. Okay.
Please.
It's all the craft soda game.
The real brewers steal all my equipment.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, that too. I would say for me, I really like sports bars for some reason. I think beer and sports go hand in hand very well. If there was solid food, which sports bars tend to not have, then it would be even better. But some type of sports event or that kind of ties into the community aspect. Yeah. With your buddies hanging around a table watching sports.
That's a good question. Something I never really thought of. I wonder why it is that like all sporting events, sports bars, where there is sports, has the most heinous food, and it's always over. Like why have the worlds of fine dining and sports entertainment, which let's be honest, is pretty much somewhere in the universe, every guy falls into one of those two categories. Mm-hmm. Why have they never crossed?
Well, I mean, I think in Arizona, there's at least a handful of solid sports bars that serve like just incredible food. It's not common,
right?
But we have some for sure. I have not experienced that outside of Arizona.
The Beer Research Institute is one of those.
For sure.
Yeah, great sports bar.
Yeah, except for their head brewer, that Colby guy. No one likes him.
No, but I mean, even in full seriousness, a little bit. When one of Matt's was around, it was outright sports, and their food was scratch kitchen, hanger nines a little bit in the same way. I think they craft beer there in that sports bar, and so they're out there. We just need to find them and prop them up and really support them, and so people kind of like kind of steer towards that format, I think, a little bit. Because I mean, you're not wrong. It's easy just to like, oh, sports are on, Bud Light's flowing. Let's just throw out a wedge salad and like 50 different types of burgers and some wings.
Yes,
and that's and then Karen, who's 85 years old and also your bartender and the dishwasher, is stuff your food. And I'm not just talking about pub and grub, but
also
what? I'm just saying, it's they're out there, and we should support them.
Okay, I think that.
Get your shit together, Karen.
Come on, Karen.
Karen.
Here. Come on.
Retire already.
I've been working day bar for 6 years. Just retire.
Damn it, Karen. I guess for me on that question is the Clubhouse, which is the Beer Research Institute, which is also the best sports bar brewery in.
I mean, they do have the largest. I'm pretty sure I can say this without being incorrect, and Matt is more than free to text me if I am, but they do have the largest sports dedicated television in Arizona Breweries.
That is very true.
I believe that's the case.
No, we love our our friends Matt and Greg. They own the Beer Research Institute, another brewery on Mesa, and Alex and I spend a lot of our time there, and that's.
It's not untrue.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's again going back to what Jay said. It's where our friends are. So yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah. So I mean, to that point, I mean, my wife got a job at the BRI just so she could see me more often.
The BRI.
That's exactly that's much. But I mean, I guess it's just to kind of pivot off Jay. It's something I've always believed, but more specifically, friends are good. But they also suck. But in all honesty, even with strangers, if I'm entrenched in great conversation, that's where I want to have beer. I literally don't give a shit if it's a beer festival. I don't care if, like, I prefer to be at the clubhouse, obviously, where I'm just surrounded by people I know I'll engage in great conversation. But like moments like this, almost any collab on earth, just anytime you can be entrenched in good conversation, it's hard to stop fucking drinking beer and stop just having a great conversation. I've pissed my wife off more times just being entrenched in just incredible conversation, drinking beer, shit. I should have been home 2 hours ago. But that's where I live and I love it, you know. And so friends, yes, exactly that. But I mean, the conversation is what gets me stuck. And
I can't count the amount of times I completely lost track of time while I was at BRI. And it happens almost every time I go there.
yeah.
I guess we probably wrap up. Before we go, I actually want to ask you guys, what do you guys have coming up that actually can come out and do, like some events you have going on that people look forward to? So,
Let's see. We've got Crawfish Boil going on. Jason, when's that Crawfish Boil? May 19th?
Yeah.
Saturday, May 19th, we've got a Crawfish Boil here. We'll announce that on our Instagram, Captain Fatties. Bought tickets for that. But it's always a fun time. We've got some really good regulars that have been with us since day one. And they came up with the idea 3 years ago to do a Crawfish Boil. They could do it all for us. And then every year since, they've been like, hey, we got to do it again. 3rd annual. So it's happening this year.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You dump the crawfish on the table and everybody's grabbing at it and tearing them apart, that kind of thing. Often have, on the weekends, live music or someone spinning vinyl. Matt does an awesome job of keeping everything updated on Instagram and on the website and all that fun stuff.
Perfect.
Awesome.
you got going on well?
At the moment, we have a couple. We have a bottle release at the end of this month, and then next month we have 2 can releases. I can't really say much about them yet, but
That's all right.
yeah,
Keep an eye out.
yeah. And then pretty much the next big one is we're looking for is like real long pudding. So that's kind of like the mode we're in right now.
Right.
We should be bringing some cool fruited mixed fermentation stuff to that.
Absolutely. Yep.
Well, probably.
Air quotes, wings.
Air quotes winks.
Yeah, or it's going down the drain. One or the other.
If it sucks, we're not bringing it. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry.
Are we?
I would obviously never miss a chance to talk about myself, more specifically since who else at the table. Cool Ship Camp is coming up.
Yeah.
So Dark Sky, Grand Canyon, and 12 West are leading a multi-brewery, giant wild fermentation cool ship project up in the north. The 30th, we're kind of putting a cool ship out in the middle of Coconino County. We're going to brew some wort on our system and pump it, tote it, take it out there and just get weird with it, camp out, have a good time. We're going to promote it through all of our social medias. And over the next couple of years, we're going to do a lot of stuff with it. It's something we're all pretty dedicated to. It's like 4 or 5 years in the making now. It's going to be really incredible. So 12 West, Dark Sky, and Grand Canyon are definitely kind of like promoting most of the media for it. So if you want to check it out, that's where it's at. But we want to get more breweries, like guys like yourselves, and other people involved down the road. So it's something we're committed to long term, but it's going to be sexy.
Yeah, which begs the question. We discussed about this earlier, but would you guys like us to drive our cool ship out here to California sometime? Maybe
Twist our arm, man.
like
I'm
set it up out of that.
totally in.
Like, I think that'd be cool.
It'd be amazing.
Wait, hit the button now.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wait.
Yes, everybody be on the lookout for that.
We're
Yeah,
still working on the exclusive button. One of these days we'll get it right.
Yeah, so I think that would be cool as well. Because
Done.
yeah,
Because reasons.
because spontaneous beer is cool.
Because
Agreed.
good reason.
So where should people actually find you guys or find out more information? You guys have Instagram? Is it Captain Fatties?
Yeah,
or
Captain Fatties Instagram, CaptainFatties.com. That's where we update our calendar, our beer releases, anything we got going on. They can find it all out there.
Well,
For us, it's 12 West Brewing on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and then also 12westbrewing.com.
GrandCanyonBrewery.com, and then it's GC Brewery, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest. So,
Tumblr, Reddit.
I mean, there's not a social media
Zanga.
site I'm not on. I told you.
You guys still on MySpace?
Yeah.
You're still on Grindr, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
GC Brewery.
Are you not?
That was just last night. It's fine.
It was our first night in town, man.
Lovely night.
Had things to
Don't meet
do.
other brewers. Brewers meet brewers.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. People can find us on Instagram is for the under Hoppy Craftsmen as well, and hoppycraftsmen.beer is our website. Jeff, who are the raddest fucking people in the world?
Raddest fucking people in the world: Cena Gomez, San Diego Beer Talk Radio, Mark Ballesteros, Javier Gonzalez, and Phil Mitchell Wall. These are our Patreon supporters. They contribute every month. Running a podcast is actually kind of expensive. If you want to check us out or donate or see what tiers are available, you can reach us at www.patreon.com/Hoppy Craftsmen.
Damn.
Is that Selena Gomez?
Cena Gomez.
I wish it was Selena Gomez. That'd be really cool too. Cena's really nice. Guys, thanks for talking to us, and thanks, guys. Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.